But that doesn't mean the devs weren't working. And a lot of people are just... this guy. Anyway. A lot of people are very misinformed on the state of the server or what's being done, thinking nothing's being done. You're just wrong. The devs have been cooking for quite a while, and they're just waiting for me to drop the patch. Because the patch required me, unfortunately. That's the sad reality here, is that the gang app requires me. Because of the way we're doing the gangs, the distribution of the tables. It requires me because I was one of the people pushing the beginning of the pieces of this patch. The good thing about that, though, is that now we have a shit ton of content that's built up for our 2.6 patch. A lot of content, actually. Like quite a bit. I would say more content than what we had for the beginning of 2.5. That's new. So it's going to be cool, to say the least. But the reality is that we have all sorts of variety of things coming for civilians. A lot of drug content, like a lot. We have gun content coming in, gun crafting content. We have whitelists, black market medical, gang app done without all of the forced PvP shit that was before there and was just dog shit. That's all gone, removed. We have better reward patterns. Yo, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. We have an amazing reward track now in terms of like different ways rewards are going to happen. We have redone what gang leaderboards are, because in its form, what it did was, thank you so much, Fezzo1, I appreciate it. There's different reward patterns in terms of, instead of it just being the top grinder gang getting something, we're going to be able to distribute the gangs out, because we're going to do things in a sort of a faction system. My sister wanted to really do fuck cancer tops and shirts and merchandise, and she never got the opportunity to. So we could probably do that. Raise money for charity or something. So the gang system is going to be done in factions. Basically, we're going to distribute out gang tables through storyboarding, and with that, we are basically going to divide up gangs within the server into different factions, so that gangs are not directly competing with each other, but you're competing with different groups of factions. So we might see different team ups that maybe you wouldn't have got the opportunity to have seen in the past. Trap houses are being completely redone in the way they work and how they encourage collaboration between groups. We are also implementing individual themed factions and faction rewards, so cosmetics that will be tailored towards each individual faction, including but not limited to weapon skins, faction-specific knives that you can get and win, faction-specific clothing pieces that are locked to the faction-specific furniture pieces that are only for those factions. We also are looking at a battle pass type system in there, which has filler rewards for people where you can get like little things to help you along the way, whether that's like an armor plate, a gun, or whatever for individual people, so that there is like the dopamine of being able to get little things as you progress through the gang system. We have a number of pieces here, including rewards for the top faction of the week. So the top faction is going to be an amalgamation of gangs, right? There's going to be a trailer for this. It's already being worked on right now. I was in as they were doing the trailer today. There's going to be a number of new drugs with animated animations and props and mini games and all sorts of stuff, with brand new rewards, buffs, ability to influence rep and compete over turfs. Turfs have been reworked, how they're doing, where it's competing over areas or zones. Yeah, it's going to be really, really cool in that we really took what happened in the 2.0 gang system and we decided to learn a lot out of it, and took all the forced PvP stuff, even down to like when you're doing missions that can be fucked with by other gangs. It's all natural, organic stuff. It's not someone gets a notification you're doing something somewhere, we just put you in an area where you might have conflict with another gang just by the close proximity, and it's only going to be if another gang is watching, waiting, or catching wind of it, right? So you'll be able to do stealth gang missions. So it really, if you are smart about how you do a gang mission or a dead drop out of a trap house, you'll be able to do these things if you're smart, in a smart, intuitive way, without having to just pull up with 5 people with weapons out. So we thought about things that way. Also, cocaine is coming, and KO Perico and cocaine in a very involved and cool way, with a way more intuitive system than we did before. Every aspect of this we thought out, from the manufacturer to smuggling it back to San Andreas, to having to cut bricks, etc., etc., etc. There's a ton of things, and doing cocaine, benefits to cocaine, etc., is all there. Methamphetamines, crystal meth as well will be coming, as well as more intuitive and involved weed. Weed will be very interesting and a requirement. Gang drugs and how gang drugs work are going to be cool. It's not going to be like before. You basically make your gang drug, and then you have to, like, well, I'll just say what it is. It's weed, right? You grow your weed, and then you have to, like, you make the one seed, and then you have to grow the rest, right? And you have a cooldown on how many times you can make a seed. So you have to grow it, take the weed seeds out, and you don't get rep like it was in 1.0. We took a lot from the 1.0 weed system for this. And then you basically have to take those weeds, but you can give your weed seeds that you get from the male and female plants, etc., give them to other gangs to help them and civilians to grow their own weed operations. So it's not going to be gang specific. There's reasons for gangs to distribute their seeds and drugs to other gangs, right? Yeah, there's going to be better things for stress in this patch as well. What else? We have big civilian things, like fishing tournaments are going to be coming as well, with a whole app towards that. It's fucking really cool, actually. Like really involved, cool, well thought out fishing tournaments. What else do we have? We have ATC flight school, flight rentals, helicopter rentals, illegal and legal helicopters. In terms of, like, when you get into a helicopter, you're automatically into the ATC radio channel, so you can hear ATC radio traffic when you're in the helicopter. There will be flight ceilings and detection throughout the map. So when you drive a helicopter now, you're going to have to stay below the flight ceiling, and you're going to have to navigate that, or you're going to get detected, and then you can be shot down. Not by the police, because that'll be toxic, but by the ATC or military. What else? Clothing crafting for gangs. Gang clothing is all coming. Yeah, cool ass UIs for everything. What else do we have? Yeah, there's going to be CCTVs, basically, with heists now. When you do a heist, you can trigger you'll trigger CCTV, and then you'll actually get recorded, and police can review the actual footage. Like, it actually records the video of you doing the shit in there. What else? There's brand new PD uniforms that look sick as fuck. Gang chains will be coming, yes. What else? This is a big ass patch. Like, some 3D map changes that'll come at the time or after. New cars. Yeah, so I was talking to Gabs. Let me see what Gabs told me so I don't fuck this up. There's 17 cars from Gabs that we'll test. And then we also have to give him input for new stuff as well. Also, let me go through the rest of the stuff I have here for the update. There's a ton of shit, anyway. More than this, I think. Yeah, there'll be new locations. We have like a shit ton of gang locations done. You guys just don't know it. Harold, thanks so much for the 57 months. You guys just don't know it, but the devs were also cooking for me on a number of gang locations, and I have a number of missions to do with gangs to give out gang hideouts. People wrongly tried to say that CG got a gang hideout and other people didn't, or that they were the first people to get it, and they were not. The hobos were, and I made sure of that. Just so all the haters know, is that the hobos were the first people to get it. It's just no one was watching and posting it on an RP Clips channel, so everyone thinks CG got it first. So just saying. What else do we have here? Smaxy, anything else? I could leak the lighthouse, I guess. Yes, Bipod, you should have done better. But we can't all. Also, we're going to be doing a number of economy changes. We're at the point now where catch-up is going to be a big part, in my opinion. How the fuck do I go in here, Smaxney, without unload it? How do I load this? Yeah, we have regional servers up and going. Brazil has been super successful. I think at one point Brazil had 1,000-person queue. Brazil is fucking rocking it. India had an insane queue as well. I want to go in and check out those regional servers as well. How the fuck do I get into the lighthouse? I can't remember. Smaxy, you didn't put it on live? Okay. You took it down. Why? Anyway, the lighthouse is done right up to here for a gang interior as an example. There's a ton of them we've done all around the map to give out to people. So we'll be looking for gangs that are exhibiting like great quality roleplay, and we'll keep giving them stuff. I mean, you can probably find entrances to some of the places around the map. Honestly, they're all over the place. So you'll have the ability. Oh, this is a cool one. You'll be able to change the time cycles in your house. So you'll be able to do different lighting in your houses. Time cycles will be there. That's actually a really cool thing, to be honest. There'll be more utilities in houses, water and gas. What else? Oh, business utilities are going to be in as well. Those are done. Oh, we have a darts mini game as well that we made. Oh, here's one for the racers. Okay, hold on. Are you ready? We're removing curb boosting. We're removing curb boosting. The experiment is over for now. We may encourage. We may do some stuff with other pieces of the racing mechanics, but we have decided to rip the band-aid and just remove the curb boosting for right now because it's becoming too frustrating for people, and people are having trouble adapting. Specifically around like the police are having a lot of trouble. But yeah, we wanted to try it. I will say though that what I can say is like we listened on that, but the reality is like it made it very hard to listen to people at the beginning. So because people were just not giving it a try and just ripping it from the start, and it made it, when that stuff happens, it makes it really hard to take the feedback because like it's the difference between sensation. Is this just sensationalism, right? And that's the problem. Is that it was hard to know like where the real feedback was versus like just people just bitching about what they think they know, basically. To be honest, bridge hacking is coming back in an interesting way. Yeah, there's lots other shit, little shit that we'll probably shove in the patch, but yeah. And the next heist is on the way. I don't know if that'll be ready for right at the beginning of 2.6, but shortly after. Yeah, new guns will be coming in. Yeah, so lots of interesting stuff. Also, we'll have catch-up mechanics we'll be putting in as well for like economy-based stuff. So we're looking at catch-up systems. So essentially, we're looking at ways at the moment. We haven't decided on a proper name for it, but we want to make it so that grinders can grind if they want. However, people who don't grind, who don't hit a certain threshold of like money making on a day, will be able to quickly get to like a higher money amount, like looking at like the $4,000 or $5,000 amount for like an hour of work, basically, or less. So you'll have the ability, if like, just say, this is just an example, if you haven't made $5,000 in a day, the next day you'll be able to do a catch-up mechanic to like expedite your earning, basically, so that we can make it more encouraging for people who aren't grinders, right? And then that way grinders can continue to go, because if you still want to try to grind your 8,000 in a day, you can do that. But for most people, there'll be catch-up mechanics. There'll be some slight boosts to like the credit system, just to make it make sense for people who don't have any experience with real life credit systems. So apparently there's a lot of people. We'll look at that as well. And then what else I got on my list? What else I got? Smacks? Anything else I'm missing? Also, we have the Easter update as well coming. We have like interesting stuff for that. Well, guns have recoil. The guns have a form of recoil as it stands right now. There will be interesting guns in the very near future. DOJ, the status of DOJ at the moment is basically, let's just have a real talk about it. The DOJ just progressively got put into a worse and worse spot and had unrealistic expectations placed onto it. We got to be easier on the DOJ, and I've talked to everyone about that. Like the stuff that happened right before a lot of people stepped down is it's unacceptable. We've talked to everyone involved with that at this point, that we can't treat every DOJ can't be a DOJ that is engaging in lewd, lascivious activities. Like that's not a stereotype that's fair. That stuff hasn't happened on Prodigy RP ever, and it's unfair to like paint our justice systems and government departments in that manner. And we're never going to keep anyone if that's what we continue to do. It's not acceptable at all. Like I want to make that really clear. Like we can't keep on that. Like it is what it is. But the reality is that with the DOJ, it was time anyway. A lot of these people have sacrificed their time for a number of years with me since Twitch RP. So these people have like sacrificed with servers with me for a number of years, where they have forgone their own personal enjoyment to help do the DOJ out of like a want to give back to the server. And for me, that's huge. But the thing is like, I can't expect them to stay and do that shit forever, and it's not fair. And at this point, like a lot of these people are getting burnt out. And look, man, can you blame them? DOJ is probably one of the most toxic and hard things to do and the least rewarding, because let's just be honest, it's hard to get viewers doing DOJ content and lawyer content. It's difficult to make like engaging and fun content unless you did short form for like little zingers and bits. And honestly, it's just at times it's not just very rewarding. So with that in mind, like it's just as well to like hit things fresh. So we have like a number of people. Oh yeah, we're doing Vin scratches as well. Vin scratches are coming as well. Gav just told me. Okay, so with DOJ right now, just to give you an idea, we're on a good path. There's so many people expressed interest right now that We have 52 people that have asked to be tagged for DOJ 2.0. 52 people. 52 people. So with that, we're going to be able to do a lot, honestly. We're going to be able to go and take the system from the back end and just redo the whole thing. South, you'd have to have the brain capacity to be a meter maid before you could ask to be a judge. So the reality here is that with this, we need to make sure that people aren't allowed to come in and just request frivolous bench trials over and over and over again. And that's one of the big problems that burned out our current DOJ, because they'd be called to like immediately come and do a bench trial for something that made no sense to have a bench trial for, because people just wanted an excuse to escape. And we're going to look at ways in which we can limit the amount of bench trials for stupid shit, because that's the problem. I can speak for almost all of the police role players and probably all of the DOJ that the most frustrating thing that they all encountered is the fact of like someone requesting a bench trial and then immediately running away at the beginning or at the end of it, just an excuse to go. So there's a couple ways we're going to look at combating that. I talked to Ramee about it last night. We were looking at potentially doing things like having civilian mediators or mediation where they can determine whether or not something meets a criteria to be able to go to a judge. That'll be available on an ongoing basis. We also talked about the potential if people break out and do this out of a DOJ, that they remove their ability to have a bench trial and they have to appeal. We're looking at those types of things, right? At the moment as things we can do. Also, we talked about having a criteria to be able to request a bench trial, but that might be going a step too far. So these are all the types of things we've talked about doing to just make things a little bit better in terms of health for the DOJ. On top of that, we've also talked about having a look through the entire penal code, redoing the whole thing, and just making sure that there is a much more robust and girthy penal code at the moment that makes sense with the California law and not law of other states, etc., so that it makes a lot more sense in terms of the world that we're role playing in, so that there's just a lot more RP opportunity. We went really simple with the hope that it would all be done within character, but it's just taking way too long. Also with the DOJ, some other things we're looking at doing is increasing the amounts that civil judgments can pay. One of the worst experiences I think I had, and here I can actually show you, because a lot of you guys don't realize I should do tariff roleplay. That sounds like it's great to take real world shit that's pissing everyone off and put it into a roleplay server. Anyway, so the next thing that we're going to do, oh, well, that's an interesting one. I get this one a lot more than other people, where I can't see the bus stop. So a lot of people don't realize is that I was out and playing in the server and I was grinding. I was literally grinding and at times abusing the economy. Okay. Because I was looking for the ability to do stuff so we could patch it. So at times I've been doing stuff to like, a lot of people don't realize I was an OG grinder, right? Like in terms of like GTA. Okay. I have been, it is what it is. So I did that for a little bit before I had to take some time away, and we were fixing things and looking at so whatever, guys. I was a grinder and I saw a lot of things. I also did a lot of role play while I was grinding, which most grinders don't do, mind you. But one of the things I did see, and one of the shitty experiences I had, is like trying to take something to court, like Redfern and what's that redheaded guy with the balding stuff with the elf ears? What's his fucking name? I forget his name. Vibes role plays the character. Anyway, they legitimately ran over on purpose me and Dustin Prince, me and Logical Solutions, Dick, at the Rusty Garage on purpose, and have been doing a targeted harassment on my characters. And then I had lawyers take 3 weeks and then try to pressure me to settle for $4,000. $4,000. And then when I said I want to take it to court, they tried to pressure me and bully me into settle. The own lawyer I hired. Now, let me tell you, if that isn't a problem with the fucking DOJ, I don't know what is. Because the role play of this shit shouldn't be going back and forth to fucking writing 5 university-style essays. It needs to be in the courtroom, having a debate, having a mock trial, making role play out of it, having a quick hour-long trial. Do you know how unrewarding it was for me as a player to be bullied by a lawyer and their partner in character, to have to settle for 4K, they're going to drop it because I wanted to take it to court for the roleplay. Lame. It's fucking lame. And that's what we need to fix. We need to fix it. There needs to be more judges that can do civil verdicts. There needs to be more judges that are in the city every single day. And like, don't get me wrong, I fucking love our old DOJ. All those people are amazing fucking people, and they didn't deserve half the shit that a lot of chatters and YouTube commenters gave them. Completely inappropriate. By the way, might I add, like the hate and shit that some of those people got was completely unjustified and not okay. But they weren't able to be in there because they're trying to like manage real jobs. They're trying to manage roleplay that they enjoy, right? They weren't able to be in the game day in, day out into the server. And then the other problem we get is like most of the judges that you end up getting are just people who are just fucking know-it-alls. And there's nothing worse than just dealing with a judge. Listen, a judge who has his mind made up before you even go to argue your case in character, those are the least fun RP judges in the fucking world. As they were trying to rebuilding, the ones around full-time, they kept attracting, right? So we need more like Damien Tinkermans and Bardines, by the way, might I say, Bardines and Eva Flores's. We need a lot more of those types of judges, but the ones that are going to be around, able to be around throughout the day and in the early days, in terms of like people who are willing to do yes and, right? We need yes and judges. Yes, and judges that are also going to control the room and make sure that people are quick and that it's not, let's call 5 witnesses to make micro points to solve a verdict. That's important. So that's what we're going to do. We want to make the DOJ fun. We want to make it theater. And then that's the goal that it's always been. That's what it has to be. And we need to stop with this lame ass, boring ass shit. It needs to be fun. There needs to be role play. The judges need to be living, breathing characters in the world. And hopefully that's what we can do. That's the bet. Yeah, well, Red Dead Court also takes 8 fucking hours, and I actually disagree with you heavily, Tim-Mac. I would rather gouge my eyes out than go back and do the last court case I did with you in Red M. Listen, I love you, Tim-Mac, but I didn't love that. It was 3 fucking a.m. in the... Yeah, you fell asleep during that. You left me to deal with it. So, anyway... Yeah, miss me with that fucking Red M court bullshit. This is better. It's not. All we need is shorter trials for like quick civil cases, like Jeros used to do, and Platt at times, and Zelge. They always used to do like day courts, right? Or like these quick courts, basically, where they just sit down for an evening and they take all the little small civil stuff. Right? Little small claims. Yeah, it's really small claims courts. Exactly. So that's the stuff we want to do again. And say what you want about those guys. Maybe they didn't have the time to do it as much as what people would have liked or what's needed for Prodigy. They had a lot of good ideas like those small claims courts, and they had a lot of great ideas like appeals. They had a lot of great things like cell judgments to try to make things quicker for people in the cells when that was a problem on 1.0. That became a problem now because people wanted to get to court for different varying reasons. But like that DOJ had a lot of great ideas. What we needed is people that were more full-time around to execute them. Yeah, Jeros is here. Give him some love, by the way. I mean, Jeros is a good person. Just so you guys know, a really fucking stand-up good person. And I don't think he and other people deserved quite as much hate as what YouTube, etc. gave him. Not fair. Really good dude, actually. Really stand-up guy. Like, I've been able to meet him in where the fuck was I? What California city were we in? Oh god. I was in Oakland, whatever that one's attached to. Also, Oakland, everything you've heard is true. Everything you've heard is true. I'll tell you a story later about it. Next things we have to fix, okay? With Prodigy. Things that people should know that we really need to fix, and we need to fix them quick, is PD. PD is in a weird fucking spot. Here's what needs to happen with PD, okay? I'm just going to say it straight so everyone understands where my mind is at with PD. Right now, PD and criminals are in this cycle of just like, I piss you off, they piss me off. I piss you off, they piss me off. Like that, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Where it's now just a continually fucking, it's just a salt mine. I've seen this this happen a million times over the years. I even talked to Kevin, I think it was last night, where he said this same thing, right? And I've seen this happen a million times. And that's kind of what's happened, is the criminals do dumb shit, then the cops do dumb shit because 5 criminals before them did dumb shit. And we need to break that cycle. That has to be broken today. The PD, in some form, is going to have a restructure. We're going to put in the brand new uniforms, which are badass, mind you. Badass. Badass. And we're going to use that as like a soft reset because it fucking needs it. Like, let's not mince words. It needs it. It is not good right now. The fact that PD is now legitimizing the fact that they can ram people with 110 miles per hour and they think that's okay. That's stupid. Also, if I see Suarez or fucking Ramee or anyone enter a chase with an A-class fucking car, an A-class car, and then ram people at 110, like, I have clips of watching both sides do dumb shit at this point, and it's like we're stuck in this cycle and it has to stop. Both sides have to just fuck off, honestly, for lack of better words. That's what has to happen. Like, both sides have to chill. That's where we're at right now, is we have to chill on the server. One side is pulling more than they should, the other side isn't pulling way more than they should, and it's taking a shitty cycle. It's really bad. The ramming, the using cars as battering rams is obscene. It's obscene. It's obscene. I mean, guys, with the swaps, what are you gonna do? Tell me a roleplay server that solved swaps. I will love to see who solved swaps. Please give me an example. Yeah, Nico, but let me tell you something. Cars are invincible when you're a cop, and that's what you're saying about criminals, but then Hutch gets on cop, and then his car breaks, and he says it's stupid. So which is it? And I want to be very clear. The reason cars damaged to the rate they did is because Hutch and the PD complained in 2.0, and then we made cars damage heavier. That ass. So which is it? Cars don't break enough, so we swap, and they go chasing on forever, or they damage too much, and that's why we swap. Car swaps aren't handled anywhere, guys. Sorry. I'm not blaming Hutch. I'm saying he brought a legitimate issue forward. We made cars damage more. It solved the issue for PD for a long time. So I'm calling Hutch fat? Yes, Hutch is fat. Don't be weird and turn this into me shitting on Hutch. It's not that. It's not that at all. So, yeah, I mean, we can reduce damage a little bit, but then the next complaint is going to be from mechanic shops. They're going to say that their business is down, they're not making enough money because there's not enough repairs coming in. You guys need to understand, you yank on one chain on a server and then the other thing falls off, and then that creates another problem. it's not as simple as just like pulling a string and just that fixes the issue. Like that, it's balance. That's why they call it balance, is because you pull one thing, you can break 3 other things if you pull it too much. So I just want to be clear, like it's not as simple as what people make it out to be. So yeah, everyone's just, something is all, you're dealing with a community of people filled with different people who enjoy different things. The minute you pull on anything, it's going to break something else in theory, right? So that's, I don't know that there's a proper way to limit the car swaps without a hard rule. And then what we're going to be doing is doing rule play instead of role play. And the thing is like, what do we want to do here? Do we want a role play or do we want a role play? What I'd rather have is an environment where we have role play and we make stories. So that's the trade-off, like that's the honest truth. And anyone who tells you any different's a liar. Any server owner that tries to tell you anything else is a liar, because that's the levers that you pull. If you put a bunch of rules down, you start playing role play, because that's how gangs and players think about something in modern GTA. And anyone who tells you different, they're just lying to you. They're selling you a lie, because it's not true. So I'm just telling you how it is. GTA as we know it has changed over the last 10 years. And unless we come out and we say, here's a server that is for extreme story with extreme rules, this is a hardcore roleplay server, and it's marketed as that, and you're okay with the fact you're not going to fill up a 250 to 300 slot server 24 hours out of the day, this is not possible at the moment. Because that is the culture of GTA, and that potentially is not going to change until GTA 6 comes. We can try, and listen, I'm putting a good effort at it, and we've cleaned house really big on the server on Prodigy. We have really cleaned house in terms of like real shit. But the problem is that when you've cleaned house of so many people, what starts to happen is you get less stories, less conflict, because it takes an idiot and a dumbass to do something stupid to start conflict. And that's the truth. Clean house for hunting rabbits. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the ZB stuff. Sure, I'll address that. I have no problem with that. Listen, ZB was let to come onto the server, and we gave him a lot of respect and a lot of grace for a lot of time. Now, I guess he's upset because we banned some of his crew for rabbits and grinding and basically abusing a mechanic that was too heavy, right, in terms of rewards. The people that did this know it. When I banned them, I was told that ZB didn't really fuck with those guys. So it's strange to me now that all of a sudden that's such a big deterrent for someone to play on the server. Listen, my DMs are open and he knows it, and he's talked to me about a number of other issues. If he has a problem with that and with his crew, and he wants to get them unbanned and he wants to come back and play, and he wants to come and be a positive contributing member of the server, I have no issue with that at all. So that's what he should do. But at the time, this made sense. We told people not to excessively grind. It was at the beginning of a wipe. It was all this stuff. And then there's other pieces of this too. The people that did get banned didn't deal with it positively. They dealt with it very negatively. They made reports and appeals that shit-talked admins, that shit-talked people. They shit-talked people in chats. Like, I'm sorry, but you don't have the full story. That's not what happened. And for ZB to say that is a little bit of him misrepresenting, or maybe he just doesn't know. Either way, he knows where to find me and where to talk to me. So, it is what it is. You can't just have people taking up server slots in the beginning of a wipe, abusing game mechanics, or just grinding all day long. It's just the way it is. So, as for the gang stuff, the next step for us, when the new content's going to be coming, when changes the DOJ will move forward. The changes of the DOJ will move forward when they are at a point where it makes sense to put them forward and they're not half-assed. Because I'm not going to relaunch the DOJ with the same problems that happened before. I'm back 2 days or 3 days doing work. It's not going to happen immediately. I need time to get caught up. It's just that simple. I apologize, but that's just what it is. ZB is not banned. But that's why this is coming up. These conversations are coming up is because RP Clips posted a thing of him saying something in some Twitch chat. And my answer to that is he knows where to fucking find me. Yeah, but who said ZB is banned for talking shit? He's not. That's what I'm saying. He knows where to find me. If he has a problem with the guys getting banned, he wants to come to a solution, he can do so. There's literally the ability to come and talk. He knows this. That's it. Yes, I know ZBU's playing. That's my point. Is that if he has an issue, then he should bring it to me. That's exactly the point I'm making here. He knows where it is, you know, where I am, how to contact me. He knows how to chat about it. If he truly has an issue about it and he wants it rectified, he can come and talk to me. It's not hard. What about the situation where MSR wiped the whole Azteca's house on their old block? You're assuming that I know this, or what you're talking about. I'm back after 3.5 weeks, guys. You address cops shooting from cars. Yeah, cops are not supposed to be shooting from cars unless they were shot at from cars, period. Other people borrow his car and beat it to shit. I don't know what you're talking about. Dog was doing good. Who left the door open? I don't know what you're talking about. There's gonna be charges towards robbing people with no good reason, basically. Yes, I think honestly what's happening now, let's just say what it is. The content is late coming. People are getting bored. They're resorting to low effort crime, like robbing people a lot over and over and over again. That's it. So if we were to institute that rule now, it would be a disservice and it would be shitty, because we'd be retroactively trying to punish people who are trying to fill content. Right now, we're trying to coach people and tell people to stop doing that shit. That's what we're trying to do right now. Can I show the new PD uniforms? Let me see how much finished product these are. Look, the ladies out there are gonna love the new PD uniforms. In my opinion. Let me see. Here's one shot of like the ones in beta. This isn't done, but this is one of the female outfits that have a better form and shape than the other ones. Yeah, they're real good. And this is like a later version. Let me see if I find something else here. There's also a gold badge version. This as well. It has better shape. Right here, so there'll be a lot more. We have better shape for Hutch now, so he has like, it's more realistic looking but still goofy. We have that as well. What else can we, is there anything else we can tease for people that want to see? Also for gang stuff right now, we were really late getting the gang clothing out because I had to go, basically. But we have a ton of shit with those as well. Let me look what Alvar sent me. These will be going for sale on public now soon as well. We got these. There's going to be these types of track suits are going to be able to be purchased for gangs. Well, actually, not on the whitelist server. We're going to give them to gangs on the whitelist server if they want them. These are pretty fucking cool. We also have these sweatsuits. So there's a lot of people like this type of shit as well. We have the bomber varsity stuff for gangs as well. And the crop varsity that women are going to really love. I know like that's very popular, well requested for the female ped, MP female. Is the crop varsity. We're going to be able to do these types of masks for like riding masks, that type of thing. Oh, these are cool. I could see, what is that gang that what is that gang that was in that was trying to fight for the cubby with CG? What was their name? Golden Tigers would rock that shit, I think. And they do cool. Like, this is a gang stuff as well. Yeah, like, honestly, whoever does the Golden Tigers, I can pretty much guarantee you can reach out to me and I'll get you spotted with gang clothes. Have new flags that are cool. What else do I have? I have this stuff as well that we can do for gang stuff. On business owner stuff, you're gonna have to give me some time. Unfortunately, I was taking that over to fix everything and then everything happened. Chains like this is a really low quality poly image, but you'll be able to put like different things in the middle there for one of the chains. There's a bunch of other types of chains as well. I don't want to like do that. I'm going to let K release that. And then this is, I don't know, if Harold gives me permission, I'll share some. Here's some of the cuts that we're working on. I don't think we're still 100% on these yet. There still needs to be some work on these to fine tune them. Yeah, I did some crop cuts for girls because I've always heard from a lot of women that they didn't like that the cut hung down past their hips, so it made it more like form fitting for this crop one, and did a longer one as well. But yeah, these all look pretty good. I still think there's still some things need to be done here, but overall, like, that's a good look at the cuts as well. Yeah, look, I had that back for many revisions. This is a close-up of like some of the stuff we can do with the cuts. Yeah, Hutch has nipples. So we have this here. Look at that. What else can we spoil? If Harold's not here. What's up, Tim? How you doing, brother? Hope you doing good, man. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything is swell, my man. Cop stuff, I'm gonna be looking for more people for that to like do daily leadership. We need to enable the North Division as well. I need to get Kanky on finishing up the rest of the stuff for the what do you call it? The sheriff's office, so I can give that to Jess and Tulane in the near future. Don't metagame that. Also, we have some map changes that I'm kind of excited about. One of them is going to be fucking cool, I think. He's been blowing up a lot, hasn't he? I have heard that. Yeah, Polito we could do some love in, I agree with. The 3D devs are starting to cook now, like in certain types of environment stuff, so you'll start to see a lot more. They're really motivated, I think, now that we have them off the shell game. Can we get more working clothing like construction, mechanic, electric? Maybe. We've done that recently, so I don't know. I just don't see it getting used enough to put even more options. Like, I'd have to know what. And more guns. Going to war with CG is absolutely been interesting from our Sam. Are you at war with CG? See, I don't even know that, to be honest. Outside of that, we need to do a better job at attracting new gangs. Dealing with the grind is going to be a big part of that, whether it's rep or economy, which will be President 2.6. I'm going to be putting out a gang form. I think I said this before, where people, if they've been hesitating to come to Prodigy, hold on a second, my girlfriend's calling me. All right, sorry, I had to get that. Just getting on a plane right now. Yeah, so we want to make sure that we're going to be putting out an application for people who have been hesitant about coming around to give them some catch-up mechanics and interiors. Like, we've done a lot of really cool things with carving out. Show this. Why don't you PM me, Smash Me? Oh yeah, fishing tournament stuff. Oh yeah, the fishing tournament stuff actually, okay, well I can't open it anymore. Smaxy, what did you do? Smaxy, did you hack me? Did you hack me? I can't believe this. Also, I need to get in and fix up some of the real estate stuff as well. That's been in a better spot than what it is. Right here. Here's one of the fishing tournament pictures as well. Actually, it looks pretty cool, to be honest. Thanks for my computer. Yeah, so yeah, with the gang stuff, basically we want to put out I brought 20 people from other servers, been a project so we can establish golden target series, which will believe the RP here is more welcoming crim versus others focus on cops instead. Well, it's good to hear, dude. Thank you. Yeah, so with the gangs, basically what we're going to do is put out an application for people who maybe didn't come back for 2.5 for a variety of different reasons, who want to focus on like doing an RP based gang so that we can get them into a faction table, get them a gang interior, you know, maybe give them a few catch-up mechanics so that we can get people back into feeling like, no, it's not gonna be a complete reset. We're gonna give a lot of catch-up mechanics. Will there be any? Yeah, there's gonna be a whitelist for cocaine, black market medical, where you're gonna be able to remove injuries, and we'll give it to gangs who are very focused towards that. There also will be a gun running whitelist as well for each faction, so each faction will have something. So that will be the idea. No, new gangs, 2.0 gangs, but you have to be able to establish basically that you are going to bring good role players and you have good role players with you. Yeah, so we have a lot of stuff here. A lot of this stuff was in motion before I had to leave. I was ready to go probably a week after I had left, pretty much, for like this gang system. I was ready to touch the ground running. There was a PD restructure that was on the way. There was a lot of stuff going before I came. I banned Sneaker. Is he on the server right now? I can't ban Sneaker. I'll do you one better. Ranking with 5,000 jobs. Weirdo, BBC, loser. You're welcome. So that's the other thing with PD. This is what I want people to understand of what I want from PD on a daily basis. I want PD to operate fairly in the spirit of competition, right? In terms of catching people, not fucking battering ram people, not doing shit to basically, you know, just shooting at people, like basically being a fucking public server loser. Because that's what a lot of our PD is starting to turn into, like not even role playing. I want at the base level, PD needs to fucking role play. PD doesn't need to be soft as shit. That has never been what we were saying to people. PD needs to roleplay. PD needs to fucking do the base level of fucking roleplay. I don't know why that's hard for people. People need to roleplay. It's a roleplay server. So that's all I want. I want PD to roleplay. I want them to do stuff that makes sense in roleplay. And that includes trying to raid people. Trying to do investigations to raid people. Trying to do investigations to charge people in court. But they don't fucking do that. So I don't know what to do with this group of PD right now because they don't do it. Yes, I think there is a problem when Mr. K is doing more to bring stuff to court and to bring raids than the entirety of the PD has done in 3 months. And that's not even glazing, it's just the truth. But like, that's kind of the point I'm making, is that we have like weird cliques in the PD right now, where we have a clique of people who just want to ping chase, and we have a clique of people who are just like the CID clique, and then we have a clique of people who are just like hanging around fans. The PD has no identity anymore, and some of that is just because like we haven't had a strong unified vision. At the beginning, we had a strong unified vision, and then we took like 4 or 5 different divergent paths, because Mehdi had an idea for where he wanted to go, Hutch had an idea where he wanted to go, I had an idea where I wanted to go, and then it seemed like every command member we elevated had their own idea and wanted to gaslight the 3 of us. So the reality is what we need to get back to with PD is PD needs to have a strong vision. Just like DOJ needs a strong vision, PD needs a strong vision too, and that's important. And like I talked to, and before people go off in wild tangents, like I talked to Hutch, Tim, and Kem about this, and we're all on the same page here. Like, there needs to be strong forward leadership. Yeah, the vision I had at the beginning of 2.0 was good. The problem is you can't like, you need to see something. You need to see your vision through. You can't like. It's got to be a clear road. It can't be looking like a tree with a number of branches, you know, because you keep hitting dead ends, having to reverse and go back and try another branch. And then by the end of it, you forget what you were trying to be. People should be afraid to be caught by PD, but PD should also roleplay. And PD shouldn't be being cheap. It's that simple. Like, I don't have high expectations here. I think the base level of PD being the best role players on the server is paramount, and that's what it should be. The PD players should be some of the best role players on the server, and then on top of that, the PD should have a good, fair spirit of competition, and I don't see that a lot. Like, cuffing someone while they're up is not having a good spirit of competition. Someone head popping and then arresting them directly after they come back, that's not having a good spirit of competition. Ramming someone 110 miles per hour is not having a good spirit for competition or for role play, might I add, because it's a fail from a role play and stuff, right? Yeah, but it is wild, Tim, but it's what happens. Like, the problem is like, outside of like you and other people who are like good sports, there's a lot of people in PD who aren't, and they misbehave when the command isn't around. And we need to do better. Well, spam tasing, that's a whole nother thing. Like, think about it for a second. What the fuck are you supposed to do? Let's talk about it for a second. Think about it from a PD perspective or a criminal perspective. Yeah, I understand that spam tasing sucks, but what is spam tasing? Honestly, hold on. Let's do a countdown, okay? I'm going to count down and start typing out your message of what you think spam tasing is, okay? Write out your definition. Don't send it yet. I'm going to count from 20 seconds down, and then you send it in chat, okay? And then you tell me what you think spam tasing is. So, 20. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now send what you think it is. Now, I want you all to read all of these definitions you have here. Please. Because I can look as this is scrolling past my screen, and on each one I can see 3 or 4 definitions of what the fuck spam tasing is. And I think we really have to think about this for a second. No one knows what the fuck spam tasing is. Everyone has a different definition. No one understands, bro. No one understands. Some people are like, it needs to be every, if you spam more than 10 seconds. Man, it's when 2 cops tase the same person. It's if you tase someone out of a car 2 times in a row. It's if, you know, I'm just saying, guys, with the way this was just presented and the way people think about what spam tasing is or isn't, you'd need an actual manual for a police officer to know when they can or can't tase. I'm sorry, but most cops don't know when another person is going to instinctively hit the tase button and tase someone. How the hell are you supposed to know if one cop's going to tase versus another in the moment where you're chasing someone? Then on top of it, you sit down with the timer and you go, okay guys, all right, Knox just tased him. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6, and you count down until you can tase someone. And then does every other officer do you know what I'm saying? You have to, like, this is what people don't get. Like, we sit around and we talk about all of this shit all the time. Like these are simple solutions. They're not. They're not. I've done this so long, guys, that I've tried all these different things. You understand? But right now, what I can tell you is that I'd have to write up a 10-step fucking manual and checklist for someone to tase someone, and then no one's ever going to tase anyone ever. Because there's no ability to hit those 10 check boxes that everyone thinks needs to be checked. I even said this to Ramee the other day when I was talking to him. I was like, brother, what is spam tasing? Really? I was like, because at the end of the day, it's like, Fudge, be a man, thank you so much, guys, I appreciate it. The thing is, it's like, what is a spam tase? Because the definition from a criminal keeps skewing, right? Like, I'm sorry, but if you get into a car, you're tased, you get back up, and you immediately get into the car with 3 cops with tasers pointed at you, what is the outcome we're expecting? Oh, dude, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, we can look at limiting the taser cartridges. Some of that stuff wasn't looking, but the problem is you're never going to get past the point of one officer has a taser cartridge loaded, they expend it, and then another officer has one and they expend it, and then it's going to go back and forth when there's more than one officer in a scene. It's a very hard situation to just solve. It's not that simple, and anyone who tries to make it that simple, I'm sorry, you're just trivializing the issue. Yeah, but that's not going to fix it. Like, reloading the taser cartridge doesn't fix it. Yo, Volky, 102 months. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Man, you've been here a long time. I can't believe I've put up with you that long. It's insane. So, in my opinion, we can put cartridges in that will mildly fix the issue. Fix is the wrong word. That will alleviate the issue by a small margin, but it's not going to fix the issue. It's not even going to come close. People will still be saying they get spam tased. Like, there's no ability to get out of it. I mean, you could immune someone to tasing for 5 to 6 seconds, but what's going to happen? You're going to eat the first taser shot all the time. You're going to break cuffs, or you're going to beta tase, then get into the car. And then talk about over-engineering something. That's like over-engineering the shit. What I think is the best, I think removing the taser and then implementing a minigame to haul someone from a vehicle and fight over it. I think the 90s server had something like it. I don't know if they had a minigame to it, but it looked like the cops had the ability to haul people from vehicles. And maybe that's the way to do it, is instead of tasers, maybe that's the solution. But honestly, like in every game ever, like what's the most frustrating thing in the world? Getting hit by a blitzcrank hook, right? Think about it. In League of Legends, you get hit by a blitzcrank hook. It feels like shit, that interaction, because it feels like you really had no counterplay because it fires so fast and it's an immediate stun, right? Now, of course, experienced League of Legends players say, well, you just hide behind the minions and you angle and all that stuff, but you can't really do that with a taser, right? The interaction is not there. Like, the thing you're missing with the taser sometimes is real counterplay. It doesn't exist, right? And that's why it pisses people off, because you get hit by a blitzcrank hook. Think about it. Blitzcrank hook with an 8-second cooldown, but no minions anywhere. You're going to get hit by that thing over and over again. He's going to grab you, hit you, grab you, hit you, grab you, hit you. You know? That's just the way it is, right? Think about it. A flashbang in Call of Duty. If a flashbang full-on stunned you, right? And you can just flick and have unlimited flashbangs. Any projectile stun in any game at range is going to suck. Because it's about player interactability, right? It sucks. It's a hard thing to fix. Like, people are going to trivialize this, and I can guarantee you this is a clip put on YouTube, and then some idiot's going to say, well, why doesn't he just fucking put the taser card? It's not fucking hard to figure out. Ravage is a dumbass. No, Ravage is not a dumbass on this point. On other points, maybe. But on this one, I know what I'm talking about. because this is like a real problem that transcends just GTA or a 5M roleplay server. This is like something that, from a player perspective, players hate that. It's just like if I put shotguns into the server, which I could do, people are going to also complain about that if PD have them, because PD are going to one-shot with shotguns. And then what is the thing that people hate the most? What is the one experience that people say they hate the most about Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, or Valorant? Getting hit by a shotgun and one tap. like that is literally one of the biggest frustration points. Like if you look at like player interaction surveys in on those play experiences, like that literally is the thing. It's actually shotguns. I just want to tell you that. And then in fact, if you want to get even more specific, it's not just shotguns, it's people camping in corners with shotguns. So that's actually the thing that pisses people off the most. It's a lack of interaction. And that's not just limited to a taser in GTA. That's like multiple things across multiple games. Anything that stuns at range is going to be that way, or anything that one shot kills you at range. Like anything that makes it feel like you didn't have the ability to avoid the thing sucks. So I'm just telling you how it is. Like that is just how it is, guys. The taser, if I had it my way, I'd probably just take the taser out. Taser sucks. Right at home. And I've played cop a lot. I have more cop hours than all these fucking losers on PD, and by losers I mean Jess. And I'll tell you that, like, I can tell you that from a perspective of someone who should be cop skewed, you know, I'm telling you, tasers suck. They just do. They suck. They suck for everyone at the end of the day. And I try to never use them, honestly. Only if someone gets into a car. South came back for more. All right, let me rub my hands together. Let's come back for more. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. Otherwise, also the business stuff, the strip clubs. Let's talk about the strip clubs. That's another thing we need to talk about. RP going on with the strip clubs. Can I just be honest? It's not great. It's like every strip club is like being run like a social club or fraternity, or sorority, and it's just event. No one's hiring security. No one's doing anything to try to protect the establishment. They're getting robbed over and over again. And I don't agree with the chain robbing of these places, but no one's doing the role play of the fact that there's dangerous money laundering going on. And this is a big problem on the server as well, is the way money laundering is happening is tired, it's old, and it needs to be changed. So, and it's not really accurate to how real life you launder money either. Like, basically laundering money is done by cooking the books, right? You don't like flick money at a stripper and launder your money. Like, that's not how it works. Like, you inject money into a strip club to make it look legitimate, right? You inject cash into a business to make it look, legitimately. You cook the books, basically. So I think there's going to be something coming as well where we change up how strip clubs kind of work, and maybe make them more about businesses doing laundering, right? Like actually laundering the money as business owners. We were talking about this and that shouldn't be like a heavy lift for us, but that'll be a big thing. And giving cops the ability to see like money transactions, to see when things look suspicious. So if you do a lot of cash deposits into a business versus like card, it'll be very suspicious and flag the police. So that is another idea. So we take it out from you just throw money so that you have to RP with the business owner to get your money laundered, right? Like, so that's the thing. That's how we used to do it on like RP First and stuff in a less involved way. And we used to do it on Twitch RP that way for a while. And I think that's probably a better solution. The strip club gimmick was cool for a bit, but I think having better ways to do the launder with the facilitation of the owner of the strip club would be cool. So, well, because heists to clean money are basically just taking all of the RP out of it, and it's just a heist. So why wouldn't I just make a heist to make money? You're just taking the RP out of it, right? You're taking an RP step out. But yeah, I think we're gonna get to a place with strip clubs and laundering businesses where we give those to criminal enterprises with a civilian front. On ERP busting stuff, I think honestly a lot of the ERP stuff is going to be stuff that honestly I want to take the ERP Act out and all that stuff, because I think it creates a toxic environment on the server. If you want me to be honest, like, we shouldn't have an excuse just because listen, there is depth added to the server when in criminal stuff, when essentially you have a person having a husband or wife, because you can attack the husband or wife or a girlfriend. It adds a lot of RP depth to the scene. And for better or worse, I mean, the Rosa and Tony Mill storyline was the best storyline of 1.0. Like, I'll die on that hill. Like, that whole storyline was the story of fucking 1.0, right? And what I can tell you is that we can't just go and put a bunch of things into... I mean, it was. I mean, say what you want about it. I mean, the RP that came from that, I'm not saying it was me that did it, but that was one of the best storylines, all of the things that came out of it. Like, it was good. People talk about it. The reality is that these are devices for people to go at, criminal enterprises to go and take advantage of, and they add to the environment of the city. I think we're getting mixed at the moment. Is like when we call everything ERP, it's a problem, and the problem is that ERP is now transcended into the game, right? Which is a problem. So I think the ERP Act needs to go now. That run its course. It was funny. It is what it is, but I think like it's now getting to a point of silliness, right? What else do we have? Animations when you carry people. Yeah, I had a few laughs, was good, but I think it's gone too far now. Like, you know, people have taken it too far. Like, when it's just all day, you know, every day, everything is bad. You know, like, I think we're not letting the world live and breathe. Do I think people should be freaks on the server? Fuck no. That is not what I'm saying, to be clear. You know, I think South, you know, should have 10 girlfriends at any time on Ricky. No. No. What else is there? What have else been really big problems on the server? We've addressed credit system, the economy, content, criminal content, civilian content. Yeah, Zolo too. Toxicity. Guns we've addressed. We talked about that. We're not upgrading cop cars. Oh, classes on cop cars. We're going to be taking those out. Let me know more classing on cop cars. Cars will be classed themselves. Like, most cop cars will be at A, and then we will have chase cars will be S. We're going back to what we did before, because this shit just causes toxicity and sucks. What else? Lack of ways. Could you clarify what you mean by lack of ways to design interiors? Personal cars not breaking so quick. I mean, we're going to look at that to balance it and roll it back a little bit. I think that was a point I made earlier too. Make system allows people to craft prop items in their pockets. For example, wedding rings. Why would you be able to construct a wedding ring in your pocket though? And what is really the purpose of being able to pocket craft? Ocean dumping? I don't see a problem with ocean dumping. Honestly, because you don't forget by being ocean dumped. Our system doesn't really punish for getting ocean dumped, you know what I mean? Perks, there'll be some added with the gang update and the drugs. Cops getting pings of drug trafficking before... Hold on. Oh my god, before crims turn up, should they be getting pings? Yeah, there's some preemptive pings, Thug Bunny. It's to make things interesting. Sometimes cops get a tip off of before something happens. The forced memory loss is against the rules, Douglas. People should literally report that. That's against the rules, as written. You can't force memory loss on the server. Oh, I'm not taking that bait, but that's something that's being talked about internally about people going to the ocean right before restart. More variety for interior decorating stuff. I mean, we add stuff for interior decorating stuff all the time. So that's going to continue to go. Is it possible to help promote more people from public? We're going to for a short time. Yeah, I showed the cuts earlier, Lauren. If you DM me, I'll send them to you. What did Smacks thing give me? Oh, more fishing app stuff. Look at that. Yeah, what else do we have? Yeah, I've been thinking about ways to give cops skill perks, but really what I want to do for cops, probably more than that, is to really give them just more juice and stuff, the variety to do stuff. I think with CTV cameras are a big part there. That was a great idea by one of our devs, Lucifer. I wish our framework was more one-to-one with the stuff publicly, because I wouldn't mind dumping a couple of these public as like a nod to the 5M community. What's wrong with EMS? Sorry? I'm missing something there. I don't really have anything for EMS docs, but EMS and docs have been so low maintenance this patch that honestly, if they wanted something, I'd give it to them. But I haven't heard them. They haven't complained anything. Ravage is TJ. I don't know what the fuck that means, brother. I released last night that when you're down and on your back, it says you're unconscious, but we promote acting on injury. Isn't that conflicting? Yeah. I agree. I think that's a good point. That's a localization issue probably, and one I just never caught before. Any chance of implementing dark web into server aside from it being a separate system? Yeah, I think our goal is to put Jar Jar's dark web in now. I mean, we have a dark web, you know, like that's the whole Crim tablet. So yeah, there's a bunch of improvements coming for racing. We have a whole list. They've been being worked on. We're gonna see the Hobo's self-storage or the SODMC. What the fuck is the SODMC motorcycle shop? Never heard of it. Hobo self-storage, I know they RP'd that a long time ago, but I'm not against giving that to them. Warehouse is like 1.0. That'll be after 2.6, but we're looking at warehouses as bigger manufacturing things. How about a bank you can rob? No needing all sort of items, just a tablet and a drill for quick bank heist. I don't want to do quick heists. Quick heists are lame. Because right now, the thing people don't understand is people... Listen, sometimes I see this stuff take root in the community where one person makes a dumb comment and then never thought about it. And then everyone else picks it up like it's a good idea because everyone's saying it. And the small heist idea for like small banks is one of those things. Because you need to think about how the heist and queue system works in the server, right? Like you have to have a number of available cops to begin something. So the more heists and stuff that you bring in to the server, the more you're going to take up those queue slots and the longer heist queues are going to be. So when people come and they bring those ideas to the table, they're not thinking about load management on the server, right? And that's the truth. Harder, more involved heists that take longer to solve. I saw that as well, but like we did that when people complained. We made them easier, then we made them harder, and I think we struck a good balance with the jewelry heist last time. Like it seems like people really enjoyed that. So that's kind of the style we're gonna try to continue to go with, which is that way. Well, the Bobcat was not hard, and Bobcat was solved within a week. So the whole posturing of this idea then is made irrelevant by that alone. Hold on. Luke right here, and I did a ticket for it because I didn't separate me, so I asked for some advice for it to be looked into and replied to. I'm RPing it out, but it felt very cornering. Huh? Like either RP brain damage or forget. I don't know what you're talking about. The quality of life changes I'm sure everyone would love is having more slots in houses, apartments, so panels can have more than 10 people. We can look at that. I can't remember why there was a reason we did that. I think it was gang app related, which probably isn't as big a deal now. No, I don't want to do gym. It's too MMO-y. Any news on tow jobs could be so good. I mean, we have tow jobs. Oh god, that sounds bad. We have towing jobs on the server. It's just we have to push PD to impound or call for a tow for more local cars. Cops did not love Bobcat. Cops hated Bobcat. That is revisionist history. I think helicopter refuel time not dramatically, but like 1.2. I mean, the helicopter refuel time was balanced based on feedback in the past, so nothing has changed on that since 1.0, guys. So I'm sorry, like this is just new complaining, right? Like it's never been a problem until now, and I don't know why all of a sudden it's just a problem. I think the real problem is that the helicopter is being taken out for things that it shouldn't be taken out for. The Sons of Dale motorcycle, no, they're not going to be able to open a bunch of different they have to pick one and stick to it. If you feel forced in RP, yes, forced in RP, power gaming is a rule for a reason. You need to make a report. The number of people you can put on the keys for a house, Miatek. 2 more people needing to be in different areas during a heist, maybe one on cans, one on cutting lights. Yeah, well, we've done a lot more of that. We already prioritized civilians. What do you mean? Did you ever nerf Nash? No. We get automated flags on stolen cars. Oh, he tells, if you could write that to me, Kim, so I know what you mean. As a Twitch video, you would like to see more role players to be given more missions. Yeah, I mean, we give a lot of role players missions, Burge. Like, Gav has been doing it every day since I've been gone. And I was doing it for other, like, lower tier gangs as well. It's just they don't all stream. That's the thing you guys are not understanding, is that we're picking a lot of groups that don't stream right now. And just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. But those are the people who are doing the work, so... Are the gang warehouses just... And quest giving is going to be a lot bigger now. I've reached out to a couple of really good roleplay friends to... Because I want to find, like... I want to bring some really great fucking role players to come in and take one of these factions each, just like Reeker, and really empower them to come and, like, push fucking story content for the server and quest give. Yeah, your one isn't that bad. It's just being used in weird situations. No, warehouses are going to be like in 1.0. But there also are warehouses you can buy as locations that will be coming in the future. I've already addressed DOJ. I don't want to get into that again. We'll get that done over the next couple of days. Widow's going to help me with it. I think 13 is going to help in there too, and a couple other people. Like, there's a lot of them. Parachutes and ability to get planes. That's already been talked about, Remdog. ATC and rentals are coming, and there's a whole system to it with flight ceilings, being able to shot down, being able to have illegally launched helicopters, etc. But you lose it. I have no problem with anything on the server. Well, every server has its problems, my friend, even this one. No matter how much you love it. And it's the thing is like, I know I'm getting a lot of shit, but this is just how these things go. The reality is that, you know, people need to remember that Prodigy has been a very good server for a very long time, and we're running into a couple of problems right now. But the thing is, like, I've never been adverse to fixing problems. I've never been adverse to tackling a problem. It's just I was going through a lot of personal shit, and I'm back, and it's not like things weren't being done when I was gone. I saw the problems, and they were well recorded before I left. I have, like, listening device or something for phone calls, provides fun RP. Yeah, we have some of that already. So real talk, is there going to be a limit for how many houses one person can own? Well, I mean, I have to see... I mean, Smashney or Miatek, and one of you guys please pull and see if there's multi-homeowners, because I didn't know that was actually a thing right now. We already patched one part of it. People were abusing the loan system to be able to buy a house with a loan and then sell it, get all the money, and then let the loan default. Parachutes are already available, and they were in 2.0 as well. What else do we have? Prison Break, we did that, but people didn't finish the heist. CG Warehouse, they only have 10 slots, and they have way more people than that. Yeah, got you. There's a reason it was put in there. What were the warehouses like 1.0? They were basically interiors that you teleported into that had all of this stuff in. You just bought the upgrades, you didn't like decorate them, and then it filled out with furniture. And then you went through different growing patterns, etc., for like bulk growing, and you could upgrade the warehouse to have security. People could breach your warehouse to try and steal your product, etc., or or whatever. And then you would take all of the weed from that, and then you get other people to sell it, and it'd raise your rep. And then raising your rep was like a big part of the cop cars are A and S only now. And the server get client-side graphics. We've talked to people about it. We have graphics pack that we had and we're doing 1.0. The problem is that it's hard to fucking launch this shit and test it appropriately at scale. We'll look at it again. But we do have a graphics pack. We have. We just haven't tailored with it a bit. It'll look pretty good too. They're talking about textures, Miatek, not lighting, I think, which we did before. Retexturing. Would you ever? I mean, we could implement something like year prios, but I'd have to check with Tebex, see if that's doable. But it's not a bad idea. How do you well, I'm running into is people not wanting to let go of certain items because they know it's used for something. I don't know. If you give me an example, that'd be a lot easier for me to understand what you're trying to ask. Tuning into your stream an old MRPD? Got a Miatek. Well, maybe we talked about it. Drug update coming. Yeah, drugs, everything. We had to talk. I'm new to Prodigy. You have assets to do. Yeah, we do. But look, boosts are going to have VIN scratches coming soon, and there's going to be like exclusive cars that you can only get through boosting with VIN scratches. So like we'll have all sorts of shit like that. Let's do narrator Ravage on Bobby Porter in the chase. Yeah, I could do a narrator. I'll stream for a little bit until I have to jet out of here. Live wiretaps for cops. Plans on prison updates. 2.6 will be coming in the next 2 weeks. They'll be at minimum a week, maximum 2 weeks. Prison RP needs love everywhere, Douglas. That ain't just a here exclusive problem. Let me tell you, the reality of this is why prison updates and prison stuff always fail, and this is why I haven't tackled it again yet. Prison needs to be its own, like, basically its own contained environment. It needs to be basically have the mechanics of a server all on its own. Like it needs to be its own server environment, essentially, and that's the reality. It needs to have it needs to be a whole game system in its own with multiple like subsystems. The percentage of people getting caught doing crime right now, I don't know. I haven't pulled that statistics in a while. I would say it's a lot higher based on what I've heard and seen. Are PD trucks gone forever? Yeah, PD trucks will be back. All that stuff will be back. It's not a big deal. Cool to have some people playing characters who have life sentences. Yeah, I mean, people say all the time, but that lasts like 2 seconds. Or you get into the situation where you try to like throttle through people to be lifers, and then the RP quality is like fucking horrible. Going to prison's like going to a shitty public server, a shittier public server. Their public server actually is pretty good. And now that they've figured out a lot of the problems over there now, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty smooth over there, to be honest. The public server is in a good spot, really good spot. I would say the public server for a while has had almost as good or better RP than the loudest. It's been really really good in terms of like a lot of quality over there for a while. There's been some low tier like shitty stuff happen, but there's been like a lot of really good role players. I was surprised actually how good some of the stuff was, like the player events and stuff over there. It was cool. You can, a lot of people need to give them for the scrap, make some blah 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 blah. Project Public, yeah, Project Public's actually pretty good. I know like some people get frustrated over like bans and stuff like that, like normal public server shit, but for the most part it's a pretty good public server. I would say I'm pretty, all in all, the hackers over there are relentless. I think it's been a lot better, to be honest, from what I understand. Anything kind of updates for any future Prodigy updates? I am completely out of touch, to be honest, with the Prodigy Red M stuff. They've been posting changelogs, though, a lot of them. Looks like they're pretty consistently doing changelogs every like 2 weeks. Yeah, my opinion on Red M is like it's moving and it can continue to move, but when we do Prodigy 3.0, I think my goal is that we do that to be functional with Red M so that we can do something cool. We need something next gen in Red M for that to ever pick up. And that's my opinion there, and that needs to be looked at as it's like its own modding platform. The problem is that someone needs to break in to Red M and do it like exceptionally well, right? Like really turn heads and bring in new viewer bases and streamers to Red M so that Rockstar fixes the bubble issue. And that's what it's going to take. So for us to like really make a big move at Red M, it's going to have to be a situation where we go very hard into it. And that's like a very hard decision to juggle when you're dealing with the fact that GTA 6 is on the horizon. And you also have how competitive the 5M server is being right now. So what I can tell you is that for Red M, the only way, what needs to be done is it needs to be gone into very hard with like a heavy investment and with a really clear and good plan. And at some point I'll get to do that. I can't tell you a lot right now, but I will have a lot of time for Prodigy, hopefully in the very near future. And I don't want to jinx anything, but things are looking like you'll get me pretty present pretty often, so which would be very good. Which I see a lot of people shit on the fact that I work a full-time job a lot, but what I can tell you is that we've built this place to a point where cool things can happen. But yeah, no jinxing, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't think people understand this. When I say I work from 6 a.m. in the morning to 1 a.m. at night, that's literal. I do that. I work a full-time job, very demanding, and then I also do this. I don't think people realize the amount of work I actually put in here. And like people, when they say shit like Ravage not around, blah, 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 that shit, I can't even take offense to it because it's just anyone who has any adjacency to the project knows how untrue it is. So I am an extremely, extremely hard worker. I can say that confidently. And yeah. That's something I can say proudly as well. Honestly, I'm at times too hard of a worker, and I invest myself too heavy in things I'm doing, and I need to take too much for my own self, which I've done better at. I'll say, like, I work out like every day, like an hour. I pretty well take care of myself. But I think from like a mental health perspective, I probably need to cut down a little bit on the overall hours I put into actual work in a day. And fast food lasts a bit longer, potentially. I didn't know there was a problem. I haven't seen a lot of feedback on that. Yeah, so. Well, I mean, things have changed a bit. I don't have to, like, grind out tons of money out of the hopes for fixing something at the moment, so that changes things pretty drastically as well. But yeah. The food went back. Okay. This has been helpful, actually. We should do this a little bit more, where I just sit down and just fucking take... community meetings are hard because, like, you have to put a cap on it of, like, an hour, right? Where, you know, you don't want to bore all the streamers. But it's helpful for me to, like, hear everyone's opinions a lot of times, so I can, like, sit down and I can see, like, problems maybe I wouldn't have seen otherwise. And it's kind of helpful when I can just talk to the community and viewer base this way. It's good to... I'm getting a lot of information very quick that I can process instead of having to go look for it. Let's say you and your team have and continue to do an amazing job. Listen, Prodigy is awesome, but like 2.0 in some form or fashion has been open since August. And we had the thing where we lost our data. It sucks. But people are going to get bored with the way some systems are, and things need to then just change. And that's the cycle of GTA, my friends. I'm not surprised by this. No one should be surprised by this. The thing is, it's like, it matters that we take the feedback, and Prodigy generally always hits back. Like, even if we hit a lull, we always hit back. And I think people, for some reason, still underestimate us, and I don't know why, because we're pretty competitive as people. Myself, Smashny, the rest of the Polish, Quali, we take a lot of pride in our work, you know, like, in pride, and when we feel like we failed something, like, we kind of double and triple down to fix shit. So people counting Prodigy out are kind of silly. Just as silly as counting NoPixel out, by the way. A lot of people like shit on NoPixel and count it out, and I think that's the stupidest thing people ever do. It's so silly to me. There's a lot of very hard workers on a lot of these servers, and I think people don't give credit to people who have risen to the occasion a lot. So I think maybe it could be some perks not to gain as much stress. Yeah, I mean, we could do that. I think the reality is that entertainer buffs are supposed to last longer, and they don't. I didn't realize they didn't last too long. They should last an hour or probably. So that will help quite a bit. Yeah, the feedback channels are hard to manage these days because people go off on so many different tangents. It's tough. Honestly, I've been thinking about doing so. Yeah, we have a plan for how we're fixing drug sales. I don't want to give away the system right now, but basically we want to go back to the 1.0 basic idea of the fact that you sell... Other people have to sell your drug, basically. So you're pushing the creation of your drug, you know, like, basically. Smashly and all of the Polish guys, Me Highkkuno, mccool, Explo, all amazing people. RNA, Kali, Lucifer, New Devs, Frazzle. Who else is there? Recreations is a fucking nut. Harold is a nut. A lot of our 3D people that we've taken on, like Vishu, Ruby, all those guys are nuts as well. Ooks and nut. Like, we have a lot of really good devs right now. That's not the problem. I think the biggest problem bottleneck we have right now is getting them enough technical information to specify, which we've fixed internally. Like, I've really encouraged the devs to like specify projects that they want to work on, and it's great. Yeah, the Brazil server actually is really surprising. There was a lot of detractors shitting on some of the staff, saying they're going to like repeat past mistakes and all sorts of things. Listen, me and Biggie don't always see 100% eye to eye. He's very... listen, the Brazilian culture is very impassioned, I would say. And one of the things I always love when I work with Brazil is like just how passionate people are about their projects, or just the things they're working on in general, honestly. And it's very much a handshake culture. I like to tell people. And me and Biggie, like when I give him feedback, sometimes it's very funny. We puff our chests a little bit, and then ultimately he takes the feedback and does really good with it. And I'm proud of the fact that they're trying to right a lot of misconceptions about them and how the server was going to be, right? I mean, I'm also stubborn, so I respect it. But yeah, so I'm proud of the fact that they are righting the ship and not letting like old beefs and stuff from past communities dictate the way they operate. and I hope that continues. I'm proud of the Brazil server and staff so far, and I've taken a lot of personal DMs from people worried about that stuff, and tried to like tell them like give it a chance, and it's paid off. Like the Brazil server is doing really well. It's oddly, like, just gonna say straight up, it's doing very well. I would say pretty decently, more than I thought in terms of like subs and all that as well, which is crazy. And so people are very passionate about the community over there, and Prodigy being in Brazil. And we have to go to the Brazil server, by the way. I really want to go. I really want to go over and do a day in Prodigy Brazil. Those people are super nice too, by the way. A lot of the Brazilian players, like, they were super fucking supportive, man. Like, we had to delay their server launch because of everything going on with like my sister, and like they were so fucking supportive. Like, holy shit, what a nice group of people. Like, honestly, like sometimes I forget how fucking cool some of like particularly like Brazil and a lot of like South American countries in general, like how cool and welcoming and amazing those cultures are. It always surprises me. Like, it's pretty cool. Brazil's pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie. I really like the Brazil server. It's fucking sick. India, I feel pretty bad about. India's been rough because just the region's so bad with DDoSing. We're trying to get that fixed up for them. They're great too. I really like all our Prodigy India brothers as well. I wish we could do some better for their server to make it better. That had a crazy queue, by the way. That's had like a pretty crazy queue for India as well. Like, we have to have like at least had one of the top queues and player amounts in those regions for sure. Like, I'd like to go check with Rockstar, but like the queues have been fucking insane. It surprised me, actually. I was extremely surprised by the amount of people trying to get through those queues. Yeah, it looks like we had a small win on. I don't knock on wood. Small win for Prodigy India right now. So that the DDoS should be better. It's just tough, man. Like, those regions, like, the problem with regional servers, and this is just me being honest, the fact that you're operating regions that you don't truly understand the dynamics of, right? And in terms of like infrastructure and everything, so it can be trying or difficult at the time. We got lucky with Prodigy Brazil because we could use our same server host with the same DDoS protection. Yeah, but anyway, there's a lot of hard work to do with Prodigy. You can talk all day about stuff, but we have a lot of hard work to do as a staff and as a development team to like see through some of our visions and then just get better at like doing these patches a little bit more on time, which we're getting better at. We were onboarding a lot of developers, so we have a much more steady and stable development team than we did before. So all good things. Yeah, so yeah, I'll probably check out Prodigy Brazil like tomorrow or the next day. Any other topics you guys can think of? I've already addressed like the graphic pack. We have one, we just need to get it performant. I think some of the devs stream. Most of the devs are almost all of our devs are, well, actually all of our devs are paid, so yeah, most of them do not stream because they're getting money from developing on our server. Well, COC lived and breathed with me, and then I had to go, so that's where the COC's gone. We'll get it figured out. I have a lot of people that were interested. Cheddar is it, or Chad, I can't remember. Whoever plays Marco Frenzy, he also had some real life stuff happen right after I left, and I think the only person that was left was Meat, and I hadn't given him enough tools for him to understand. But yeah, you don't want to show all the secrets. Possible, I mean, we could do something of that eventually, but it's not a priority right now because it had to be animated. Other than that, I think like I've covered mostly everything that needs covering. I think the auto character in the city has been really bad. Auto character chatter is something we're going to try to crack down on. I think we also have a rewrite of the rules we want to we want to tackle as well. We've been trying to do that for a while, and overall we're just trying to make the server a better place and to attract good role players back now that we've done a lot of cleaning. We did a lot of cleaning of house, and now we need to show people, hey, a lot of the shit that was going on here isn't happening anymore, and it's time to come back. Yeah, unless I was requested to have favelas, I wouldn't put them in. Promote more solo stuff. Well, the whole idea of roleplay servers is to encourage interaction, so solo stuff doesn't work as well here. But we could put more in. Yeah, I mean, that might be something where we're falling short, Tim. You could be right. That's true. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's just natural to target gangs and companies and businesses because you immediately involve a number of people. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably why we naturally go to those, but that's a good point. Maybe we should do more of that. I mean, South was a great example when we did that. South's only recently now been super CG adjacent, but before that he was like, and we targeted him, and that led to some good story. So do I have any interaction with the GTA companion app? I do. I do indeed. Yeah, honestly, if people have feedback on the companion app, they should give it to me because I will deliver that directly to Rockstar. They've been really good about taking feedback there. I've been in calls with them. They've been super receptive to feedback, very open. I've given them a lot of feedback for how to, like, things they should add, but if people have more for that, they should give it to me. So they've been great to work with, to be honest. Really cool people over there. Yeah, any feedback like that, feel free to always message me, and I put together in a packet and send it off. Can we have more options to level up or yeah, I've already talked about that. I'm mod for camo toes with that app, and we have an issue with it. Would love to. Yeah, please bring it to me. Please bring it to me with as much detail as you can, videos if you can, and I'll see if I can get it figured out for you. Sound good? The Prodigy U server is coming soon. I really want to do like a British server, to be honest, and I want to do Poland. We're eyeing Poland, a Polish server. Also, we want to do Spain, but we had our partners drop out at the last minute with that one, so we need to find someone that's good. But yeah. I mean, if we found the right partners and right hosts in Australia, we'd look at it, but not right now. We're a little overwhelmed with India. No, I don't think we do Italy right now. It doesn't make much sense for us. I want to do bigger regions, essentially. I mean, honestly, the British servers do pretty well, to be honest. I wouldn't mind getting that. Makes sense. I don't think we do Japan or anything that requires too much localization at the moment that I don't want to get into. Well, I think there's people who care about there's people who care about like playing the British style server, you know, like there's a large group of people who enjoy that, right? And having better ping in that region. So but yeah. Outside of that, that's all I really have. I mean, I could do some narrator stuff. I have a little bit of time, but I'm just trying to get back into stuff here at the moment. And this makes me feel a little better because I've ripped the band-aid of talking publicly about everything. and, you know, ripping the band-aid of telling people there's a fucking patch coming and to chill out. And that we have a lot of plans for stuff, and we're not just here sitting down eating fucking Cheetos and Mountain Dew Code Red, you know? Like, that's not what we're doing. At best, Miatek is eating a lot of kebab and drinking a lot of Red Bull. So, neither of those things are Cheetos or Mountain Dew Code Red, so you're good. But yeah. Where would be the best place to toss a bunch of random suggestions? Suggestion channel probably in the Discord. If you're not whitelisted, I don't know. I think we could maybe we make a Prodigy subreddit, but the last I checked, someone had made the Prodigy subreddit, and then they had like a bunch of, when you click their name, it had like a bunch of furry porn or something when you click their name on Reddit, and it was like really strange, and I could never get anyone to get a hold of them to like feel like, yo, can we have the subreddit? And like, not owning your own subreddit is like, it's not a good start, so I didn't really see the point in yeah, I mean, but you could still make a good space, like each subreddit has its own flavor, right? Like, sure, Reddit, the RP Clips Reddit has its problems, but I think for the most part, it's not fucking horrible. You know, it sticks to like most Reddit rules, you know, like a lot of Reddits believe in a lot more ability to be critical, and that kind of is not that wild about Reddit, to be honest, that it operates in the way it does. Yeah, I mean, community input is valuable, of course it is. Listen, I don't always like what I hear, but I'm one that will tell you straight up that community feedback is incredibly important, and I make a lot of decisions that I really didn't want to do. Do you think I really wanted to walk back curb boosting? You know, after the fight we've had? You know, of trying to get people to respect it? No, I don't want to do that. Do you think I want to walk back anything with the credit system? No, I don't want to do that, but we do it. So. I think people misinterpret the fact that, you know, I don't take shit with the fact that I don't take feedback, and they're two different things. Let's see what Timac said. That's interesting, Tim. Okay. Well, yeah, well, it's been a long time since I've been able to stream. Like, my whole goal was to stream at the beginning of the year, and just everything has been really hard this year and difficult, but I should be able to now. I'm going to go do my sister's funeral next week for a couple of days, and then which is difficult, and it's powerful. Thank you so much, and Bahama, thanks so much for 6 months. No, you don't send me Twitch Whisper, send it to me on Discord, or get Camatos to send it to me. Yeah, I want to do more streams. You're going to see a lot more like story content, like heavy story content. I don't know if I have much left in me for like the Diamondback stuff. I really wanted to push that roleplay, but like almost everyone abandoned that, which is very sad. I told everyone before we started that I don't have time to dedicate to something that people are going to flake on, and then everyone dipped on it. So, listen, it's pretty bad when I was the most active person in a group with everything I have to do. There's a lot of great story that could happen and been there as well. So I don't know what I have to do with that. I haven't made any big decisions on that yet. I'll probably do some music stuff because it is what it is. But I'm going to do a lot of Vice Industries. There's been a lot of stuff going with that, like interesting stuff so far. So we'll keep pushing that. And then we'll find some other people to do some other stuff. Dan Rappa, is Tony Rico coming back? Tony Rico is not coming back. Correct. I mean, buying houses the last second was kind of addicting to see. Yeah, I mean, I was doing a lot of that. I was doing pretty good there. So, yeah, listen, I've got some really exciting shit I'm going to do for you from a story perspective. So I'm going to keep up with that. What I need to do, though, is I need to get a couple of bodies to help me with that story. And if I wanted to keep doing the Diamondbacks, I need to find a couple extra bodies with me and Reach. For like more casual content. But we're going to be like heavy quest giving. I'm going to be doing that off of stream as well. On stream, sorry. And doing some narrator content, getting back into all that shit. All of that's going to be real big here in the next few weeks. So I hope you guys are excited for that, because I will bring you that and I'll do a lot of it. I'm pretty motivated to make like really big, cool stories and to make people be excited for roleplay on the server, because I think right now the only role models that you really have for roleplay in terms of like bigger criminal story and things that kind of move and shake the world are when Mr. K decides to do something, whether it's this detective arc or something. And what we need to inspire people on the server to pick up and roleplay, because that's the thing people are missing in GTA across the board everywhere, is like people aren't picking up and making stories. And what people need to see is like, hey, you make a story, it's not hard, just go out and fucking roleplay and I'll show people. That's my goal. I want to show people you can make a cool fucking story. I'm gonna make something fucking epic. Anyone who's been around knows I can do it, and I will do it. And I'm motivated to do it. So, get ready. And I want to enable the shit out of gangs on the server that, listen, we do a real good job of enabling CG, right, on the server. Like, we do a great job of that, but we have to do better about enabling the other gangs on the server that are less seen. And whether it's time or whatever, sometimes we don't get to do that, and that's going to be a huge focus for me. So that's my goal. I want to get more gangs that are very story focused. I want to make sure they're getting whitelists. I've made sure there's enough whitelists to go around and to be fun and engaging, and I've made sure that these gang systems are encouraging gang alliances as well as organic conflict instead of forced conflict. And I hope it works, and if it doesn't, we're going to keep fucking with it until it does. Yeah, we'll give the Golden Tigers something. I like them a lot. I want to give them a little bit of role play. I already told you guys I want to give them some of these gang stuff. Like, I thought about the Golden Tigers when we had the tech stuff. I was like, man, they really do good with that. But yeah, we'll do stuff with them, and this is the time where gangs need to get on the server and they need to start showing up, because this is the time where we're going to give out prio, where we're going to start identifying gangs that we want to give shit to, and this is the time to do it, because like, in the middle of the day, there isn't a queue, right now. But when 2.6 comes out, of course there's going to be a queue, because we're going to have a ton of new features. People are going to want to play them. The gang stuff is always a big driver for Prodigy, and that's the time. Listen, people got about 2 weeks to get their shit together. Yes, I would say that if you were chain robbing people in general, that I wouldn't, out of boredom right now, I would say that it doesn't do a whole lot for you in your favor. So I would say that in general. There's a lot of gangs doing that at the moment, like a lot of them. It's not just one or two, there's a lot of them. Whatever happened to the who? Too many. The mob was so good, man. Yeah, they were good. It's just they had way too much internal drama. If they could get their shit together and actually come back and actually do shit, I'd be happy to help the mob out. But the mob can never get their shit together afterwards, which I would have been happy to give them something. I've told the Gooch that. I've told Game Nation that as well. Like, that's not new. Yeah, they were great, but they need to come back and actually come back and get their shit together. If they come back and get their shit together, of course they'll give them something. But they haven't. They have not been around. Leanne, Dante, Bo, Killian storyline is so good, and Colt showing up last night. I had no idea what's happening. I was told she was there with some dude, and I showed up with a fucking shotgun, and it just so happened to be him, and it started a bunch of... I don't know what the fuck I tumbled into on that storyline, I have to be honest. Robbing the scrappers. What do you mean they walk around with no conflict and they just grind? Oh yeah, Posh. We just came to an impasse with something, and we just decided not to continue. No hate for the guy. He was like much more doing stuff on Arena anyway. He didn't do like a shit ton on Prodigy. Yeah, well, I mean, listen, you know that you guys do shit, you'll be looked after too. Like, we'll make sure people are looked after on the server that are putting the role playing and the effort. We have no problem. And then also we'll put out the app as well, so that's handled. Also, we have the mayor election, which will be really fun. I'm gonna fuck with that a little bit. I want that to be really clear. I'm gonna fuck with the mayor election. I think that has a lot of story to go. I know Widow is gonna be able to fuck with some stuff with that tomorrow, and then we have the debate. Yeah, so we have a lot of stuff. A lot of cool stuff on the go. Honestly, I think the whole mirror storyline and other storylines going on will really push a lot of. Yeah, I know, but I'm in no clip. I don't really care. Legit, especially when you're an org that base their operations of chopping, boosting, and drugs. I mean, connections to others for story purposes through those interactions. I used to enjoy going to the clubs to throw, and now I hesitate to go because they're always being robbed. Well, listen, this is on the clubs, to be honest. The clubs should be hiring security. They should be doing stuff. They just don't put the effort into that type of role play. And if they did that, that would make a whole lot more sense, you know? I thought about the fact maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe giving the clubs to dancers is the wrong idea. Maybe I should be giving the clubs to criminal organizations with front people. And honestly, I think we need to be better about making criminals, like, a good example is like Sakid with Burger Shot. Like, if Sakid is like committing a bunch of crime, maybe Sakid should be having a front person running the Burger Shot instead of him. You know, shit like that makes a lot more sense. Mayor and council in public, I don't deal with that stuff in public. I let the admins run that shit over there. Like, if I had any involvement in that outside of like seeing glaring issues and pointing out like this is a real fucking problem, you can't let this happen, I think that would be a problem. That thing needs to be running on its own. But yeah, I think like tomorrow, maybe what I do is maybe I'll make my rounds to Prodigy Brazil, Prodigy India, or maybe I'll do that Saturday. I'll do Prodigy Brazil, India, Prodigy Public. We'll do like some songs and shit. Maybe I'll get a couple of the artists here to come with me to Prodigy Brazil and India. Maybe I can get Links to come with me, and maybe I'll ask the guys like to come. Maybe we do it tomorrow. I'll ask. No, I don't know what the hell Brazilian pizza is. Maybe I'll see if the guys will come with me to Prodigy Brazil tomorrow or Monday. Maybe that's what we do. And then we'll do some songs, do some shit over there. And then maybe we... you go south? You want to go to Brazil with me? Okay, you can do that. You can be the meter maid. Then... we go do that. Maybe I do some narration. I'll find someone maybe speaks a little bit of English. Maybe we might find some Brazilians over there that speak decent English that can understand me. Maybe we narrate over there and on the public server. That could be funny as fuck. Could you imagine me just going around trying to spectate people that like speak some manner of English to understand me? And then a lot of people, hopefully, only speak Portuguese. And then it'll be the narration will be sick, you know, because like no one else will be able to hear or know what you're saying. Honestly, that could be pretty good. I think that it could be funny, and I wouldn't mind narrating on the public server either, and on here, and just seeing like just showing face and some love to those servers. You know what could be cool? Doing like a narration battle stream. You know, like having someone else narrating the same place I am, like a competition. You know, like we're both fucking with the person, taking turns. Yeah, this means there's a lot of English speakers in Brazil, but it would be funnier if there was not so many, you know? Yeah, I think you're translating the narrator. Oh, that would be funny. Actually, I could get, do you guys know Misty? She did, who'd she play? She played Churro and Bubbles. I can get her to come with me and she can translate for me. She speaks Portuguese, Spanish, and some other stuff. German, English, I think, is what she speaks. I literally get her to translate it all, but yeah. Sneaker, you don't speak Portuguese though, right? I thought you only spoke Spanish. Oh, Angel will be funny to do it with. To be honest, Angel would be hilarious. That's a good idea, actually. Angel Knives, Jedi. You gave me the idea for Angel Knives. Angel Knives narrating someone while I narrate someone would actually be fucking legendary comedic content. Oh, that's true. I could just do it with Lauren Scott. Also, that's also a possibility. Wait, do you speak Portuguese? Okay, well, let's do it. All right, well, that'll be a plan. We'll do that. That could be fucking very funny. I know you're Brazilian. I know. Kay speaks pork and cheese. I two people having to translate in tandem. That would be funny. That could be hilarious. Yeah, we'll do something like that probably. I think that'd be a good time. Does Kay actually speak Portuguese? So, what's up, Zeons? Yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming, guys. Bear with us just a little bit, and things will get better. Sorry that I've been away. I just, you know, you can't avoid some shit in life, and like, I wouldn't take it back having to go and spend time with my sister and be there for my family, for the world. So I apologize for people that pisses off, but the reality is, man, like, you don't get that time back, and that's it. You just don't. And there's nothing, you know. I do think like there's a special place in hell though for people who give shit over that, and like, bro, some of the shit some people have said to me, even people on the server, you know, that have said to me about being away, like calling it an excuse even. I think honestly, like, those people are, something's fucking wrong if you can say that to someone like that. It's insane to me. It's fucking crazy. Like, some people just need to really, something wrong with them. Yeah, there's something seriously wrong if you can say that to a person. It's fucking insane to me. Yeah. So that's the type of shit I've been dealing with. But yeah, I mean, there's no avoiding it, guys. Like, you know, unfortunately, I love my sister more than I love the server, and that's it. Can't get those moments back, so I had to do it. It is what it is. So apologies to people who pissed off, or I'm sorry that it's inconvenienced people on the server, but it's you know, I shouldn't have to fucking, I shouldn't be the catalyst for what makes the server good or bad for a couple of weeks, to be honest. That shouldn't be what it is. Like, the player base should step up and be able to roleplay for a couple of weeks. So that's something we do have to fix, is like, people need to either get the confidence to roleplay more, and we have to encourage that going forward, or I don't know. So that's it. I think that's all I got for right now. I think I've expended all my energy for the evening. And I'm gonna go get ready. I have to drive to the airport in a little bit, and yeah, I'm gonna go pick up my girlfriend. I have 2 dogs having carcass time that I need to let out. They look fucking wasted, man. I got Dakota a donut bed that's like furry, and it fits her perfectly. Like, so she curls and she rolls around in the thing and everything, and she's like, almost, it looks like she got fucking drunk, and like, it's only her butt in the bed right now, and she's like fucking crashed out across the side of it, like she's drunk. So I'm gonna go get them up and get them going. But thank you guys. was good catching up, and we'll get into some real content in the future. I don't know when I'll be back. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometime I'll come back and we'll do all this stuff. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for being supportive, and thanks for being supportive over the years with everything, with my sister and donating and helping us out, and it means a lot. So yeah, let's raid someone. Who do we want to go see? Yo, Anonymous, thanks so much for the 10 gifted subs. I appreciate you. Oh, is Whippy streaming? We could do Whippy. Jess has a subathon? Yeah, let's send you to Jess. Jess just moved, and I don't know if she got her new computer or not yet, but Jess, I would love to give Jess a little bit of help. Actually, go send Jess a bunch of love, guys, if you can. Anonymous, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. You guys are fucking awesome. JPuck, thank you as well if I didn't say it. You guys are amazing. Yeah, everything's coming back in the next couple weeks, Liquid, with new gang clothing options and everything. Okay? Everything's coming back. Public should never have had gang masks, though. Like, anyone who bought gang masks on whitelist need to retrieve them on whitelist. We didn't sell gang clothing on public. Just to be really clear. Yeah. Okay. Let's go raid Jessica.